Alright, this is going to be my PVE spec since you guys were asking for it. This is mainly for Guardian raids. You can run this in Chaos Dungeon, but there are better AoE abilities you can run instead. Let's get right into our skills here. For our first skill, it's going to be Polestar. We run Weak Point Detection, Vitality Point, and Moonstar for the most damage. Spin Cutter for extra mobility to get around the map. When you have extra points, I recommend getting Open Weakness here to allow our party members to do more damage to the boss. A Dark Axle, Swift Fingers, and Corkscrew for more mobility to get behind the boss and to help kite it to get that backstab damage. Soul Absorber, Swift Fingers, Fist of Darkness, and Have for the extra damage. For next ability here, it's going to be Death Sentence. Ability I put in here for extra damage and a little bit extra mobility since we leap 4 meters. You don't need any points in this, it's just for some extra damage on the boss. Our next ability is going to be Earth Cleave. You can run Push, Darkness Injection, and Earth Explosion, or Leap Attack. I prefer Leap Attack since my crit is not high enough yet to make Earth Explosion more DPS, so I prefer Leap Attack instead. You can also get Weak Point Detection to do more damage versus Push Immune foes. So you get about 10% more damage than you would from this, but this only works against general bosses. This works against everything, and I don't feel like switching this up every time I leave a Guardian raid, so I just leave it on Darkness Injection. Except for Push, you can get Law of the Jungle for extra damage, lower foes, but I like this as a little bit of a gap closer to get me towards the boss. Our next ability will be Moonlight Sonic, Fist of Darkness, Sustain Enhancement, and Shade Sonic. Massive damaging ability, your main DPS. And then I run Void Strike, Swift Finger, Fist of Darkness, and Dark Explosion. This gives you a lot of single target damage. If you are running Chaos Dungeon, I recommend Fatal Wave, Death Wave, Wide Angle, and Law of the Jungle. So you get these 3 perks. I recommend that for Chaos Dungeon. For the other part, you don't really need anything else. You could run Wind Cutter instead of Death Sentence also in a Chaos Dungeon, but all you really need is Fatal Wave to swap Void Strike here and you should just be fine. This gives you plenty more AoE, Wave does. The main way you want to use Spin Cutter is just to get around the boss. Same with Dark Axle, because the boss moves around a lot and these help you stay on top of it and allow you to kite it and allow you to also sit on the back side of it since you do more damage from the back. Be careful if you are into the boss like that, you'll get stuck on some bosses, so you won't be able to get the mobilities. That's why I like to spin around first and then come in from the angle with Dark Axle there to close the gap, and then finish closing the gap with a quick Earth Cleave gap close right there into the Polestar for the immediate combo. And you roll out, because generally the boss will attack by that point. You charge the Moonlight Sonic, and then you can use Soul Absorber from range, dash in, quickly Death Sentence, and get out again. And if you want to go back in, you just go in with Earth Cleave, dash out with Dark Axle, and just stuff like that. Keeping up your damage. Use Spin Cutter to get a kite around as well. Your most damaging abilities on the build, by the way, is Soul Absorber, Moonlight Sonic, Polestar, and Void Strike. These 4 do more damage than the other 4 abilities by quite a bit. The next most damaging ability would be Earth Cleave. After Earth Cleave would be Dark Axle, and Death Sentence about the same, and then Spin Cutter is by far your worst damaging ability. This in terms of the DPS. And the way you want to use your ult here, your 4, whatever you want to call it, you use this, so what you see here, the Moonlight Sonic, for Soul Absorber, and Polestar are relatively long cooldowns, and since these are my best damaging abilities, when I ult, the cooldown gets reduced by a lot. So generally when you want to ult is when you just use these abilities, and you just use it again right afterwards to get the damage in. You can also use Void Strike here as a gap closer as such. Allows you to get in range and it does a bunch of damage. So that can be another one of your gap closers. Uses Void Strikes to get in close, then pop the Polestar, and then just dash out like that. And Moonlight Sonic, very strong because you can use that at range. Very safe ability. Same with Soul Absorber, you can always use this at range as well. As you can see that attack hit from way back here. So just keep that in mind when you're using it. Alright, I'm going to go over my ult now. So Flash Blink, generally in the raid, they last about 8 to 10 minutes. So you're not going to have time to use this throughout the raid multiple times generally. You only have about two rounds to use this in most Guardian raids. So I recommend just starting it off with a fight like that. So you can just dash through it immediately like this. And now you're facing its backside and you can go into the combo. Like that. And you can just start DPSing it as so. Alright, onto your engravings now. You're going to want to run Curse Doll, Grudge, Surge as your class ability, Adrenaline, Keen Blunt, Master of Ambush and supercharge. I wouldn't worry about getting engraving super early since you really don't need them until about tier 3, but these are just a baseline to get you going towards them. They're going to be relatively expensive too, so just keep that in mind and make sure you don't accidentally sell them since they're going to be relatively valuable. Alright, and then the combat stats you want to work towards is going to be crit and specialization to give you more surge damage skills that synergizes well with Void Strike, Moonlight Sonic, and Soul Absorber, which are your highest damaging abilities. That's why you go for specialization and then crit, so your abilities can crit and do more overall damage. If you guys did find this helpful, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that like button and subscribe. I'm going to play some Guardian Raid footage now. I did not use Void Strike in the Guardian Raid footage, but I do recommend running it over Fatal Wave, which I will be running in the footage. I just forgot to switch it.